G'day, how's it going? My name's Wazza J. Now, this week's side hustle can be done at night time. In fact, it can only be done at night time. You see, we're going to drive around, we're going to look at the street lights, and if they're not on, if they're not working, well, we can report them to whoever's responsible to looking after the street lights. In this case, it's going to be SA Power Networks, and they have a program in place that if there's a street light out and you're the first to report it and they don't fix it within 5 working days, they'll pay you $25 per light. Now you can do up to 40 street lights per day or per night. 40 at $25. Potentially you can earn $1,000 a night. So let's get out and about. Let's find those broken street lights. We'll report them and we'll see exactly how much money we can make. So let's start by just going to Google, typing in street light out, $25 street report light, that'll do. SA Power Networks for South Australia. And it goes on to talk about improving safety and security and quality and so forth. Okay, so it comes up with a map. Now if I zoom in on that map, you see here that the green are all street lights that are supposedly working. Flick across and I'll see if I can find one that's been reported as faulty. Look, there is none. That's a good thing. It just means that no one's... Oh, no, here's one. So we've got these 2 grey ones. That means that they've been reported. But are yet to be fixed. So with that in mind, let's go for a drive. It shouldn't take too long to find a street light that is out, and I'll show you the process involved in actually making the report. Okay, I've got my coffee in hand. Have a quick drink, put it down, drive safely of course, and yeah, we'll get stuck into it. Okay, well it didn't take long to find a street light out, literally just down the road. So I'll zoom in to the exact location. Here we are. As you can see, it is out, but it's already been reported. That's red. So we'll just keep on keeping on. Keep driving until we find one. Okay, I've come across one. Another one. Found quite a lot today, but most of them have already been reported. But it looks like this one is a go. And let's just make sure I'm in the right spot. So you've got the roundabout there. There is one street right, one street light on the left. The next one down is right there, and that's the one that's broken, so that hasn't been reported. So what we do is we click on that green dot. The problem with this is the light is off at night. My contact details. Okay, WXPER X Submit. It is submitted. See, what I do is I take note of the street address and that reference number. That way when they send a text message saying that it has been repaired, I know what they're referring to, and I don't have to go back and check, or I can go back and check and make sure they've actually repaired it. You can see now that I've reported that streetlight. It's come up red, so we know that it's been taken. So we'll keep going. Okay, I've passed about it was 3, but it wasn't really safe at the time to pull over, so I've just pulled over at a survey, and I'll see if they've been taken, these spots. Okay, let's have a look. Yep, that one's done. Never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. That is the one we want. Okay. Street light is off at night. Okay, once again, let's put in, submit. Alright, submitted. So I will just write down the address and the reference number again. Alright, so I just got back from running the streets in my car, looking for street lights that aren't working. I'm tired. I went out probably quite late, so I didn't get to do as much as I would like to, spend as much time, but daylight savings is clicking over tonight. I'll get that extra hour's sleep if my kids will let me, and I'll go out again. I might hit a different area, spend a bit of time. I wouldn't say it was an overly productive night, but you know, we'll see how it goes. I've got a few other ideas of an area that I might go to, and I'll see how we go with that. I'll keep you posted when we do that. So good night, and catch ya. So I'm going to head out on the streets again tonight. I'm going to look for those street lights that aren't working. I'll hopefully be the first to report it, get it in. This time I'm going to head in the opposite direction than what I went last time, see if there's more success that way. So I'll get back to you with the results. Alright, so let's see how I went with this street hustle, lights out, doesn't work sort of thing. Alright, well, I can tell you what I did learn. I learned that the street lights in Adelaide are well maintained. There's not that many out, especially in the, dare I say, the richer side of town. They sort of seem to be looked after a little bit more. As to the ones that are actually out, well, they're reported on pretty quickly, especially in the main roads or the artillery roads. They seem, as soon as you come across one, you check, it's already been reported. So that's a bit of a shame, but you can always try it, you know. Someone's got to be first to it. So if most of the main roads are done, stick to the side roads. I've noticed that you can have the most success there. A lot of people perhaps are driving around on the way home from the pub or wherever they've been, and they notice the street out. Let's hope they're not driving home from the pub. They're catching a taxi or an Uber, but they notice the lights are out, and they may report it there and then. So side streets don't seem to get hit as hard. Now, the next point. If the area you are looking in has been upgraded to LEDs, then my suggestion is just to leave that area alone, because LEDs, clearly, they work better, they're more reliable. I know that I drove around a whole area that had LEDs and I only found one that was out. So, I mean, by all means, you can do it. You just probably won't find as many. There is, however, an exception to that rule. That is in new estates. Yes, they normally have LEDs, but obviously they must have some sort of teething issues, and they haven't got that sorted out yet. So I noticed there was quite a few that had street lights that are out. So I had the most success in new estates. So I highly suggest you try that. So obviously when you do this sort of hustle, you've got to take into consideration that you are using your vehicle, so there is that time and fuel and any maybe maintenance issue, but it shouldn't be too high, especially if you're only out for an hour or two and you have a fuel efficient car. So it's not just South Australia that you can do this. I've done a bit of research on Google, and there you can do it in Sydney through the AusNet network. They maintain it there, but there is one exception. You need to be living near or adjacent to it, or if it's in your business. I suppose you could always say, oh look, my business is driving around for Uber, and so technically you can say, hey, it's near. So I'd give that a crack. That pays $25 too. Melbourne is another good one. In fact, they guarantee to have it fixed within 2 working days. So that time frame is much smaller than Adelaide. Adelaide is 5 working days. Melbourne with 2, obviously you've got more chance of them not getting to it in time. And once again, they pay $25. That's through the City Power and Powercore networks there. As for the rest of the states, I only looked briefly on the internet for payments. I couldn't see any, though you may want to ring up your main power supply network and ask them the question themselves. And too, if you happen to be watching from overseas, there's no harm in ringing the power supply networks in your state or city and see if they have such a program or scheme in place. All right, so I've just got to wait for those reports to go ahead. They'll send me a text message when it's repaired. Hopefully it takes more than 5 days and I can get a payment out of it. So all up, I drove around for a little bit, a couple of hours at least, and look, I only found 6 street lights that weren't working, that hadn't already been reported. So potentially I'm up for a payment of $150 for 2.5 hours work. It could pay off, but we'll have to wait and see what comes through. So if I was to do my time again, I would probably hit more areas that pay out better, like the new suburbs, the new estates, perhaps head out to an area that didn't have LED lighting, and that's probably your best way of making some money on this. So when I get that payment through or the details through, I'll just make another video and let you know how I went. Till then, I'll catch you later, and look out for another video of a side hustle. This one is probably one of my favorites. It's restoring products that you get for free or cheap off classified websites, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, those sort of places. And there's some good money to be made there, whether you sell it or you just keep it for yourself. And I look forward to doing that, and I'll catch you later. Thanks. See ya.